Hey, welcome back to World Entertainment. And as you may or may not know, but there is a brand new animated series coming to Netflix of the Terminator. Well, it's now got its first official images released for this new show and an official title and release date. So the show won't just be called Terminator, it will in fact be now called Terminator Zero. No idea what the Zero is about, maybe it'll say it in the article. But we also get the images and the release date, and we find out a little bit about this. So, a new 8-episode Netflix anime series titled Terminator Zero is on its way and is set to premiere on August 29th. If that date sounds familiar, we were told that the Judgment Day event occurred on August 29th, 1997 in the movies. The streamer has debuted the first official promo images for the show, which will take the classic sci-fi franchise in a completely new direction by moving the story to Tokyo, Japan, and, for the first time, shifting away from Sarah and John Connor, who have together or separately featured in all previous Terminator movies. Showrunner and executive producer Mattson Tomlin explains the decision to switch focus to a whole new set of characters. And he said this: "I think that it's time to go into new characters and not burden myself with another John and Sarah Connor saga. There's been a run at that a couple of different times. There are a lot of callbacks to the other films. Fans who really know the movies are going to be doing the Leo meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But it's not going to be as direct as John Connor walks in, because John Connor does not walk in." Tomlin does make it clear that the show will not be a complete reboot. However, he says, "We're not going to pretend that the third movie didn't happen. We're not going to pretend that the sixth movie didn't happen." The official synopsis reads, 2022, a future war has raged for decades between the few human survivors and the endless army of machines. 1997, the AI known as Skynet gained self-awareness and began its war against humanity. Caught between the future and this past is a soldier sent back in time to change the fate of humanity. She arrives in 1997 to protect a scientist named Malcolm Lee, who works to launch a new AI system designed to compete with Skynet's impending attack on humanity. As Malcolm navigates the moral complexities of his creation, he is haunted by an unrelenting assassin from the future, which forever alters the fate of his 3 children. So then you get to see the actual images, and they look interesting. They do look quite interesting. The animation looks good, to be honest. You get your first kind of look at a Terminator. I'm assuming it's possibly a T800. Might be a different model, but it looks like it's possibly a T800. Don't know whether full skin, whether they're meant to look like Arnold or not. You get this very interesting image of clearly a nuke going off, but on this kind of big screen with someone watching. So is that someone watching from the future or something? We don't know. But again, it's another interesting image. Then you get an image of endoskeletons being created clearly, because you get one with the skull on it, and you can see 2 other bodies where there's no skulls on it yet. Design wise, it doesn't look quite like a T800, while at the same time does look quite similar. So whether this is a different model or not, again, we don't know. Then we clearly see the time machine, which does look somewhat familiar to what we saw in Terminator Genesis, but at the same time looks a bit different as well. It looks a little bit better, to be honest. Well, of course, it'd be easier to do on animation than it would live action stuff. And then you see some other images as well, with the I'm assuming one of them is the scientist and whatnot. And of course, we get to see the one who I'm sure is our protagonist of the show, who it doesn't give her name as of yet anyway, not in this anyway. But the interesting thing is, and they kind of, one of the reasons they released that image as well is I think it was Entertainment Weekly or something, or someone sent a message saying that there was a rumor that this animated series, would feature no guns. That they were going down the whole, oh, guns are bad, can't have guns in it. And they responded by sending them the image of our protagonist firing a gun. So it's like, no, there's guns in it. You know, they're not, clearly not going down. Might be outright gun porn, as they kind of want to call the original Terminator movies now. But there are weapons in it. The same thing was said about the Acolyte, that there was absolutely no blasters in it, and yet in the trailer you can see a blaster. At least you're assuming it's a blaster. But the images look interesting. The synopsis sounds, it is about time that we do move away from the known characters and go elsewhere in the world during the whole Skynet uprising. Going to Japan, quite interesting. The story sounds interesting. The images look interesting. You know, the animation looks good and whatnot. And we don't have to wait that long either, 3 months, and we'll get to actually see this thing. Will it breathe new life into the Terminator franchise? That's another question. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Don't know. But a lot of people seem to be kind of saying looks decent. They're looking forward to it and are interested in it. So we'll wait and see what we get with Terminator Zero on Netflix. So, with that, I will leave it out for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.